kind of mentioned a little bit my in the introduction section of the Discord, um, kind of my testimony a little bit, but I guess I'll go ahead and expound on it a little bit. Um, so I'm 37. When I was like 32, 33, I was mountain biking a lot at the time, and the ticks were real heavy out where I was at. I live in Arkansas, and got into some ticks somehow. I don't know how. I always checked myself after a ride. I wanted to make sure I didn't get sick from ticks. Didn't matter. I got tick fever. I ended up in the hospital for about a week, and I was having headaches while I was in the hospital. And the doctors told me, let me go ahead and swap this back so they can get a bigger camera view on us.
Oh, cool.
The doctors told me that the headaches were part of tick fever. That wasn't really a concern to them. So I was in there for about a week. They had taken care of everything else, and I was feeling better, except I was still having these headaches. And after a couple of days of still having the headaches, they kind of got wise, and I didn't realize what was going on. And they took me down, and they did a CAT scan, and they said, okay, we found something. We're going to give you an MRI tomorrow and verify. And so they took me down, did the MRI the next day, and they confirmed. They said they came in to the doctor came into my room, and he said, we found a mass in your head. I've got a tumor. It's a pituitary tumor, kind of right here. And at the time they found it, it was about the size of a golf ball. But when he told me that, the first thing that crossed my mind, I thought, that's a God thing. If I've got a brain tumor, that's not something I can deal with anyway, right? Like, I can give that to God and not be concerned, really. But they drew some blood. They came back in an hour or two later, and they said, there's good news. We did your blood draw. We looked at all your blood levels, and we think we know what kind of tumor it is. And the good news is it's not cancerous. And sorry, that's when it kind of hit me that, okay, wow, I really do have something here in my head. I've got a tumor. And this really does have to be a God thing, because I can't, this is beyond me. I used to, as a younger adult, live with a lot of fear. Bad storms would roll through, and if there was, a chance of a tornado anywhere on the horizon, I would go sit outside a storm shelter for hours, and even if nothing happened. I lived with a lot of fear, and kind of going through that helped me realize that God's got it all. I mean, there's nothing that he can't handle. And at the end of the day, our lives, win, lose, or draw for us, everything that we do is for his glory. So that's kind of a big part of where I come from and what's shaped how I view the world as an adult. So, that's kind of what has led a lot of the steps to get to where I am today. Well, Rachel and I met 3 years ago, and that was another God story we can tell another time.
Yeah.
But that was absolutely 100% God.
Oh, yeah.
So.
And there's so many instances in our lives where God has stepped in, and like when you lost your job before your current job, your previous job.
Yeah. That happened almost a year ago. It was about a year ago.
Yeah. And I heard when Joe told me that, I heard in my head as clear as day, God will provide. And it was just like, everything's going to be fine. That was.
And he absolutely did provide.
He did. That gives me the chills, because I had always, I'd heard of people who say that they heard God spoke to them, and I've always been like, what is that like? And there's no doubt in my mind that is, it was like someone was talking, sitting next to me, saying it in my ear. It was incredible. God will provide. And
sorry, I'm kind of trying to focus my camera. But she told me that she heard God say that, and I've always been skeptical of that sort of thing too, personally, honestly. But I'm telling you, like, that was Friday. We kind of took the weekend to be and just be, you know, and sorry, getting emotional. I started looking for more jobs Sunday evening. By Wednesday, I had an interview with a guy, and I went to that interview, and I felt pretty good about it leaving, but I didn't know. I got a mile down the street after the interview, and he called and made me the offer.
It was amazing. It was amazing. Hey, Armor of God.
Hey, Armor of God, good to see you.
We're having a bit of an emotional
Sorry, this.
story time moment.
Yeah,
but
we're
it's,
kinda-
you know, just how God just works. And today was one of those days where it was just like, you know.
Unpacking our testimonies right out of the gate. Yeah.